Okay, so this has just appeared conveniently. So again, essentially, I have 2 screw adjustments here. This one on the left, if I undo it, allows me to swing this whole print head up and down. That's what I'm going to do to get the position of this dead center on the vertical. And then the one on the right is once I get in position to move it left and right on the horizontal. So I'll always start by doing on the vertical position because if I try to do the left and right and then I change the vertical, I'll muck up the first setting. So you can just see, I'm not sure if you can see, but I can now actually spin this whole thing up and down. So again, I want this to be bang dead center of my orifice plate. And I'm just going to do this. And again, it's quite a exact thing to do. And you'll notice as you're doing it and you tighten it up, maybe it goes a little bit lower. So you might want to come up a little bit higher than it looks, because as you're tightening it, it might come down the tiniest bit. Cool. Looks very good to me, and I can see that I'm too far over to the left. So what I'm actually going to do now is bring my whole head over just to the right a smidge, and I'll lock myself off here. A little bit hard, so I'm just going to give this a little bit of a rinse here. Okay. It actually looks like I'm a little bit high. So I'm actually gonna just redo. Better. Okay, as I said, I've got to do that one first because I've just thrown my other measurement out. Okay, now last thing I'll just double check. Just make sure that I haven't mucked up my gauge setting there. And that's virtually bang where I want it, which is nice. Okay, so if I make any adjustments on the left and right, or this vertical position, the position of the gutter in relation to the orifice plate, it's probably going to mess with my ink stream alignment just a little bit. So I know it doesn't show those steps here, but if you're doing this gauge, I would strongly recommend that you take a look, because there's no other instance where you're ever going to align the gutter to the orifice plate except in this situation. So I'm actually just going to jump through, and you can see it's telling me to do the ink stream alignment here. And then this is where it's telling me to put the head back together. So I'm actually just gonna, turn my ink stream on. Just gonna give that half a second, just for the pressure to build up. Now I'm going to extend my head. Now you can actually jump to the menu and you'll see the vertical 5.5. I'm using that yellow screw 3.7, which is this green screw on the right. And so there's another video, so hopefully you're following along there, or you can do it in those videos instead of doing it here if you like. So I'm just going to close this off. I'll turn my ink off, jump to the next menu. Okay, so essentially what it's asking me to do is now put our nozzle cap back on. So, very beginning of the video, we had this orifice plate cover off. I'm just going to really gently you just see this here. I have a flat side and then a side that's got a raised bump on it. We're going to have a look on the screen, and you can see the flat side is going to go over the top of our gutter. In your kit, you should have just some little tweezers. Be real gentle. This nozzle gasket is pretty precious, and they're kind of expensive and very easy to lose. So I'm actually just going to extend my gutter out just a smidge, just about that point. I'm going to put my nozzle packing or cover just over my gutter. Just put a little bit of pressure there. So I'll just slip that on. Now it's going to tell me to bring the gutter back all the way, and you can see there to leave the jig in, because otherwise you're going to scrape against there. So next thing, it's going to tell me just to grab my orifice plate cover again. I'm just going to very gently slide that in and just press that down. Now then, I've got those screws that we started with. I'm just going to gently put these in. Let's start on the left-hand side, just 'cause it's a little bit easier. Now I won't tighten that off just yet, not until I get the other screw in. Okay. Okay, so I've got this one on this side, and just gently tighten this off, just both sides. First comes tight, and then comes snap. So cool. I'll remove this jig, give the head a little bit of a clean now. And I'm going to jump through, finish maintenance, yes. Now you can jump into unit information. Now the final thing in condition, we're doing the sealing condition, and we're doing our extreme alignment. Is just open and close the gutter a couple of times. Make sure we don't have any ink ejecting over these electrode plates as it's opening and closing. And as long as it's nice and clear, then everything's okay. Alright guys, bit of an in-depth video. It's once in a blue moon you'll have to be doing this. Only when you get an alarm on here that says, hey, it's time to change the sealing, the packing, gutter, gasket, or if you can already tell that as it's open and closing, you're getting a lot of ink inside this printhead. Those are situations you can be playing around with this. I'll slip the cover back on now, and I'm good to go. Thanks for watching, guys.